Okay, let's say that you were just forced to shoot a violent attacker in self-defense, and now you are standing there immediately after that shooting, but you don't know what to do. Folks, I am talking about a situation where you are standing there with a still smoking handgun in your hand, a dead bad guy laying on the ground over there, and the police are on their way. So folks, in today's video, you're going to learn 5 tips that will help to keep you from getting shot to the police that are responding to your self-defense shooting scene. And these tips will also help to keep your butt out of jail, again, after you have been forced to shoot a violent criminal in self-defense. And folks, if you hear any wind noise in today's video, my apologies. This is the second weekend in a row where it has been very windy while I've been trying to film a video. So please just know that I am trying to talk when there is not big gusts of wind happening. But really fast, for new viewers, welcome to this channel. It is all about prepping and self-defense. And if you like this kind of information, please subscribe and hit the like button. So tip number 1 is don't still have your firearm in your hand when the cops arrive to your scene. Now you may laugh at that and say, well, I would never have my gun still be in my hand when the cops arrive to my self-defense shooting scene. But folks, you never know how far the police are away from your scene when that shots fired run gets dispatched over the radio. I saw it all the time where cops just happened to be around the corner when shots were fired. So now it is obvious that the fastest way to get yourself shot by the responding police to your self-defense shooting scene is to still have your gun in your hand when they arrive. I mean, you just have to understand that when the cops arrive, they don't know what's going on. They don't know if you're the good guy or if you're the bad guy. All they know is that they have a dead body on the ground and they have you standing close to that dead body with a gun in your hand. The other thing to remember too is that as far as the police are concerned, anybody that is not in uniform that has a firearm in their hand can be a deadly threat to them. Cops know that this is all it takes for somebody with a gun in their hand to kill them. So my suggestion is just do something with that firearm so it's no longer in your hand when the cops arrive. Me personally, if I was forced to shoot somebody in a parking lot, I would put that gun in my car and close my car door until the cops arrived. Or if I were in my house, I would put it in the nearest drawer in my house, again, until the cops arrived. And then if I was walking down the street, I would put that gun on the ground and I would actually stand over that firearm in between my feet with my hands on my head until the cops got everything under control. Again, the cops do not know what is going on when they first arrive, so their job is to get everything under control to make sure that everybody else is safe and that they're safe, and then once they get everything under control, then they will start figuring out what occurred. And to kind of even take this a step further, I would not even have my firearm within reach on me when the responding police arrive. Again, obviously with not even having it in my hands when they arrive, I would not even have it in my holster. Just to kind of touch on it again, when the police first arrive, they don't know if you're the good guy or if you're a bad guy, so you just don't even want a firearm within reach of you when they show up. And really fast, if you are watching this video on YouTube, you should come over to Rumble to watch my channel. Rumble does not censor us like YouTube does, so to support the freedom of speech, just search ethical preparedness in the search bar. Okay, tip number 2 of what to do immediately after you've been forced to shoot somebody in self-defense. And tip number 2 is to either call 911 yourself or ensure somebody else is calling 911. Now, I'm giving this tip because there are so many people out there that say, if I'm forced to shoot somebody in self-defense, I'm just going to get out of there so I avoid the legal hassle. But folks, I am telling you this, if you justifiably shoot a violent attacker in self-defense and you leave the area before the cops arrive, that looks suspicious. And let me tell you this, if you do leave the scene, you will eventually get found, and then likely the police will not believe anything that you say. And then if your self-defense shooting ends up in court, I can guarantee you this, a prosecutor or a civil attorney will bring up the fact that you left the scene in court to that jury to try to paint you as a murderer or having done something wrong. And another reason why we want to ensure that 911 has been called is because we are also wanting to make sure that that attacker gets medical care. We want to ensure that an ambulance is started for that attacker that you were forced to shoot. Again, we are not trying to kill that attacker. We are trying to stop that attacker's violent actions against us. Now, if I am the one that calls 911 to report my self-defense shooting, all I am going to say over the telephone to the 911 operator is, I was attacked, I was forced to defend myself, please send help, and that's all I would say. Now, if the 911 operator tries to press you for more information, and if they are a good operator, they will try to do that, because the more information they can relay to the responding police, then the safer it is for the responding police. But if that 911 operator would it try to press me for more information about what occurred, again, I would only repeat what I just said and just say again, I was attacked, I was forced to defend myself, and please send help. Again, that's all I would say. Now, the 911 dispatcher will also ask you other questions that will be fine to answer, like they will ask where your location is. They will ask to describe yourself, what clothing that you're wearing. They may ask you, are you in the parking lot or are you inside the store? Things like that. And those questions are fine to answer, but when they press for what actually occurred and trying to get details of what actually occurred, again, you want to keep it vague. Or my suggestion is you want to keep it vague. He attacked me, I defended myself, and please send help. Now, tip number 3 is to immediately call your self-defense attorney after you get off the phone with 911. Folks, I am here to tell you that a self-defense attorney coming to your shooting scene or coming to you as soon as possible after you're forced to shoot that attacker, that attorney is what's going to help the most to keep your butt out of going to jail. Now, I personally use and like Firearms Legal Protection, and the reason why I like them so much is because I believe they have everything that a self-defender needs to have immediately after they've been forced to shoot a violent attacker. For instance, like I just mentioned a moment ago, as soon as you are involved in that self-defense shooting, you can call FLP's 24-hour hotline where a real attorney will answer, and then also a real attorney will immediately start heading your way. And then if you still get arrested and if bond is set, FLP will bail you out of jail. And then if your shooting still ends up in court, FLP will provide you with an attorney that will fight on your behalf. And I will put a link to Firearms Legal Protection down below, and if you use that link, you will save money when you join. Now, tip number 4 is that after the police have arrived, but before your attorney has arrived to the scene, don't try to tell the cops everything that happened. Don't verbal vomit, as I've said in another video. Again, like I've said before, when you are in that super hyper excited state, when your adrenaline is through the roof, people have a tendency, when they know that they are innocent, they have a tendency to try to prove their innocence right there at the scene. And my suggestion is let your attorney arrive to the scene and let your attorney do the talking to the police on your behalf. And then my suggestion that I always give to friends and family for them to say to the responding police at their shooting scene would be something very simple along the lines of, that guy did X, whatever that guy did to put you in fear for your life. So that guy pulled a knife on me. I was afraid I was going to die, so I defended myself. Now, I don't want to answer any more questions until I have my attorney with me, and I don't feel good and I wish to be taken to the hospital. Now, to kind of tout Firearms Legal Protection again, if I was involved in another self-defense shooting, I actually wouldn't even say anything at all to the responding police because my attorney is going to be there pretty quickly and my attorney can do all of the talking to the police. But if I had no attorney coming, that's when I would at least give that simple statement of, he did X, that put me in fear for my life, I defended myself. Now, I don't want to answer any more questions till I speak with my attorney, and I don't feel good and I wish to go to the hospital. Giving a simple statement like that at least lets the responding police know that you defended yourself and that this is a self-defense shooting. And tip number 5 here is something that 90% of the people out there don't know about. And tip number 5 is that you should wait until you've had at least 2 nights of sleep before you give a detailed statement to the police about what occurred with your self-defense shooting. Now, you may ask, hey, why would I even want to give a detailed statement to the cops a couple of days later? And my answer to that is, you just don't know all the circumstances that would happen if you're involved in a self-defense shooting. I mean, number one, your bad guy may not die from your gunshots, and he may give a lie to the police about what really occurred. And number two, your self-defense shooting may not be so black and white justified. It may have started out as an argument before escalating to you being forced to shoot that person to defend yourself. There's just a lot of dynamics there where a detailed statement a couple of days later may help to keep your butt out of prison. Now, if you give this detailed statement, obviously you want to have your attorney help you to prepare for that detailed statement and for your attorney to be with you when you give that detailed statement to the cops. That attorney is going to make sure that you don't use language that can be misconstrued and used against you later in court, either criminal or civil court. And then I also want you to notice that I said after 2 nights of sleep and not just 2 nights later, because you may not get any sleep those first couple of nights. And studies have found that after 2 nights of sleep, good sleep, that you will actually have a better recollection of what occurred in that self-defense shooting than most of the time than immediately right after the shooting. And here's a bonus tip for you. Stay off of social media after your self-defense shooting. Don't post on social media that you just got involved in a self-defense shooting. Even now, don't post on social media joking about how you shoot to kill or anything like that. Just don't post on social media where an attorney can use that stuff against you. So anyways, folks, immediately after your self-defense shooting, don't still have your firearm in your hand when the cops arrive. Don't verbal vomit to the cops. Do not try to prove your innocence there at the scene. Either give that simple statement or let your attorney do the talking to the cops on your behalf. Number 4, if you do give a detailed statement down the road, make sure you've had 2 nights of sleep and with your attorney by your side, and then keep off of social media, and then don't post on social media anything that can be used against you regarding self-defense. So folks, did I miss anything about what you should do immediately after a self-defense shooting? If I did, comment down below so that we all learn from each other. And if you would like to see more videos that talk about self-defense, then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to learn what most other gun owners don't know. Anyways, folks, this is enough internet for me today. I do actually want to shoot. But folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.